The first thing you want to do is always consider your audience. Audience, audience, audience. It's the core of everything a technical communicator does. Ask yourself, who is going to follow your instructions? What is it they need to do? When do they need to do that thing? Where are they going to do it? Why do they need to do it? How skilled are they at doing it? If you can answer all these questions, you're going to be in a good place. But also, consider this. What is your audience's attitude toward instructions? There are 4 major types. We'll go over those. The 4 basic attitudes are as follows. We have obsessive nerds. These people love technical documentation of all kinds. They're the ones who read through the instructions before following any of the steps. They are relatively uncommon, but they do exist. Next up, we have people who act like computers. They do what the instructions say, even if it doesn't make any sense. These people go through instructions line by line. I do, I go to the next line, I do, I go to the next line, I do. This kind of person is very, very common. You also find the handyman sort. These are the people who just start in and they say, I don't need instructions. They will consult instructions when they have problems. If and only if they have problems. These people are also very, very common. And the last kind of attitude we have is the delegator. The kind of person who says, well, it's not really my thing to do this, I'll make someone else do it. These people start working sometimes, if they do at all, and if they can run into the slightest bit of difficulty, they abandon it and give it to somebody else. These kind of people are very, very common as well. So which type of audience should you assume you're writing for? I suggest very strongly, assume you're writing for the computer program audience. The reason is, if you write for them, you will succeed in writing to all the other audiences. What you need to do is, make sure you keep all your steps in a strict sequence. Don't put anything out of order whatsoever, and include information especially if you think it's completely obvious. Now some things you can leave out. For example, remember to breathe. Yeah, that's great. But at the same time, sometimes your users will not know anything, and you need to lead them hand by hand, step by step, through whatever it is. Here's a brief example of exactly what we're talking about. Let the video play the next slide. Pause the video once you get to the next slide. Follow the instructions and do exactly as they say. And once you are finished, restart the video. I'm switching right now. Pause the video. Did you encounter any problems? I thought so. Here's a real-life example of exactly the same sort of thing we're talking about there in that fanciful example. Take a look at this. Pause the video for a moment, take a look, and see what you think. Is there any information that's out of order? Pause the video now. And we're back. Did you find the information that's out of order? It's right here. 5 whips are best. What's happening? They're telling you how to tie the knot, then once you've tied it and pulled it tight, they're saying, oh yeah, you should have done this 5 times. Well, have you ever tried to undo monofilament fishing line? It just can't be done. So essentially what the instructions are saying to the person is, great, you've tied the knot, now cut it off and start over and do it again.